Tom Trujillo here with Tips from Santa Fe, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about absorption rates and what absorption rates really mean to you as a seller, a buyer, and of course as a realtor. It's very important that we begin to understand that right now we have a lot of properties on the market throughout Santa Fe. We're going to do a little absorption rate today on the county of Santa Fe, then get a little bit more specific. But this absorption rate really kind of gives us an earmark and an idea about how long it's taking for properties to sell on the market, how, in other words, absorb into being sales. The first thing we're going to do is go into our MLS. We're going to go through our searches. We're going to go down to a standard search at this point. We're going to go for residential, single family. We're going to make sure active, pending, please show, first right of refusal, and under contract are all checked, because even though they are under contract, we all know what can happen at the last minute in the closing room. For sake of discussion, we're just going to do the entire county, sorry about that, of Santa Fe to give us kind of a snapshot of what we have available to us in terms of available properties. And we just need to go at this point, just do the preview count. And as you can see, we have the default thing, box that comes up. And at this point, we have 1,438 properties listed here in Santa Fe. We're going to go back to our criteria up here, but this time we're going to take out the pending and all these items. And we're going to do sold, 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 and unlisted sold. And we do need to change the date. And since we're going to do an absorption rate for this past month, we just are going to be doing January 1/0/10 all the way to 1/31/0/10, or excuse me, 10. And let's see how many we actually sold this past month. We had a total of 65. So again, that's another number that we need to jot down, and from there we'll take we'll get back to doing a little bit of math. Okay, now for doing a little bit of that math, the real trick that you need here again is make sure you have yourself a good calculator. That's really what you need as a tool. And also my absorption rate little template, or download that, excuse me, from my website at www.trujillo.com. But let's go ahead and figure out just some of these numbers that we worked with initially. If you recall that we knew that we had a total of 1,438 homes throughout the county of Santa Fe at this point. We also know that last month, in the month of January, we sold 65 properties throughout. And this is where the math comes in and get into that ratio factor, so you can figure out exactly what the absorption rate is going to be. So if you really take the number of homes, okay, 65 homes that's sold, times 12 months, we get 780. And I always like to point this one out because this is where people get confused a little bit. That's 780 homes, and that comes from, we know that we sold 65, so hypothetically, if we sold 65 homes every month for the next 12 months, we'd be selling 780. It's a little different than the number that we have to work with, the 1438, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Now, if you take, what I've tried to do on this thing here, if you take the 780 and you divide that by 52 weeks, that will give us our ratio factor. It happens to work out 780 divided by 52, 780 divided by 52 gives us a total of 15. That is our ratio factor. Catch is here, we know we're selling the number of properties in the market today. That's at 1438. So we're going to go ahead and put the 1438 here again, because that's how many houses or residentials we have on the market throughout the county of Santa Fe. So we need to use the ratio factor to calculate the number of weeks it will take to absorb the existing properties on the market. So I like to always put in here 1438, a little redundant, divide it by our ratio factor up here, which is 15, and that equals a total of 95.866 weeks to absorb the entire 438. Okay, so there you go. It will take a total of 95 weeks to sell all the 1438 there. I'm sorry, let me move this up a little bit for you. Try that a little helps out a little bit. And the big number is this. So if you take the total weeks of 95.86 weeks that we're talking about, and you divide that by the 52 weeks, it will show you that we have a total of 1.843 years of inventory to sell all the 1438. Okay, that's kind of just a quick lesson on the absorption rates. Hopefully you got a little bit out of it. Feel free to contact me at my email, tom@trujillo.com, or you can always call me on my cell, area code 505-699-4954, and of course look me up on my website, www.trujillo.com. Have a great day. Tom Trujillo, Tips from Santa Fe.